Andrewsarchus is one of the most unsettling animals in prehistoric history, not because of what we know about it, but because of how little we know. This animal may have been the largest land-dwelling carnivorous mammal ever to walk the earth. Larger than any wolf, larger than any bear, possibly rivaling some dinosaurs in sheer skull size. And yet, everything we know about Andrewsarchus comes from a single fossil. One skull, no legs, no spine, no tail, just a massive head pulled from stone. Discovery in the Gobi Desert. In 1923, an American expedition led by paleontologist Roy Chapman Andrews uncovered a gigantic skull in Mongolia's Gobi Desert. The skull was unlike anything seen before. It was over 80 centimeters long, teeth like a predator, jaws built for crushing. The skull was named Andrewsarchus mongoliensis in honor of its discoverer. From that moment on, Andrewsarchus became legend. A mammal, not a dinosaur. Despite its terrifying appearance, Andrewsarchus was not a dinosaur. It lived around 45 million years ago during the Eocene epoch, long after dinosaurs had gone extinct. This was the age of mammals. Andrewsarchus belonged to them. At least, that's what the skull suggests. The skull that raises questions. The skull of Andrewsarchus is enormous, with a long snout, deep jaws, and large teeth. But unlike typical carnivorous mammals, its teeth are unusual. Some teeth look designed for slicing meat. Others appear suited for crushing bone or hard material. This combination confused scientists. Was it a pure predator? A scavenger? An omnivore? The skull refuses to give a simple answer. What did Andrewsarchus eat? One theory suggests Andrewsarchus hunted large animals, overpowering prey with sheer bite force. Another suggests it was a scavenger, cracking open bones left behind by other predators. A third theory proposes something even stranger. It may have eaten shellfish, turtles, or hard-shelled animals near ancient coastlines. Why? Because Andrewsarchus lived during a time when parts of Asia were coastal environments. Its skull shape shares features with animals adapted for crushing. This turns the land super-predator image into something more complex. Size without a body. Here's the uncomfortable truth. No one knows how big Andrewsarchus actually was. Early reconstructions imagined it as a wolf-like monster standing taller than a horse. Later studies suggested it may have had shorter legs and a heavier body. Some scientists now believe it was related to early hoofed mammals, possibly distant relatives of hippos or whales. That means Andrewsarchus might not have been built like a sprinting predator at all. It could have been slow, massive, and unstoppable in close quarters. Predator or power scavenger. If Andrewsarchus was slow, it likely relied on intimidation and bite force rather than speed. It may have dominated carcasses, driving away smaller predators. Think less, chasing hunter, and more, walking extinction event. It did not need to run. Everything else moved out of the way. The bite that still haunts science. Based on skull size alone, Andrewsarchus may have had one of the strongest bites of any land mammal ever. Those jaws could crush bone. That kind of power changes ecosystems. Even without knowing its full body, scientists agree on one thing. Nothing ignored Andrewsarchus. Why we never found more? The fossil record is unfair. Some animals are preserved perfectly. Others vanish almost entirely. Andrewsarchus lived in environments where fossilization was rare. Soft ground, erosion, and time erased most evidence. That single skull survived by chance. Without it, Andrewsarchus would never have existed to us. The danger of certainty. Andrewsarchus teaches scientists humility. It is a warning against confident reconstructions based on limited data. Every image of Andrewsarchus you see is speculation. Educated speculation, but speculation nonetheless. A mammal that breaks expectations. We often imagine mammals as weaker successors to dinosaurs. Andrewsarchus shatters that idea. Mammals did not slowly crawl into dominance. Some of them exploded into it. Final perspective. Andrewsarchus is not terrifying because of claws or speed. It is terrifying because of uncertainty. A massive skull staring out of deep time, daring us to explain it. It reminds us that Earth's history is incomplete, fragmented, and biased toward what survived long enough to be fossilized. Some of the most powerful animals ever to live are known only by fragments. Andrewsarchus stands as proof that even with all our science, some giants remain only partially revealed. Not because they were weak, but because time chose to keep their secrets.